"You're being dramatic about me dancing with other guys," she said after grinding on 3 different men at the club. I left her there, packed her things, and changed the locks that same night. She came home hungover the next morning to find all her stuff by the door and a note: "Dance with whoever you want, just not in my apartment anymore." I know it sounds extreme, but trust me, this wasn't some impulsive meltdown. This was a final spark that hit a pile of gasoline-soaked red flags I'd been pretending not to see for months. My ex, Brooke, was 25. I'm 30, and somehow, despite the age gap, she always felt younger than her number. Not in a cute, free-spirited way, more like she treated life like a never-ending audition for attention. I was the safe place she came home to. The guy who paid the rent on our 2-bedroom condo, who fixed the Wi-Fi, changed her oil, cooked dinner, and woke up early to warm her car on cold mornings. She said I was sweet. But let me tell you, when a woman starts calling you sweet the same way someone describes a puppy with a limp, it's not a compliment. The truth is, I loved her. Or at least I loved the version of her that existed when the world wasn't watching. At home, she was funny, affectionate, calm. But the moment she stepped into public, especially with her wild friend Megan, she transformed. It was like watching someone swap personalities the second they crossed the doorway. Suddenly, everything was about Instagram angles, flashing lights, who was watching, who wasn't, and how she could get more validations in the next 30 seconds. I kept trying to shrug it off. I didn't want to be the old, boring boyfriend lecturing his younger girlfriend about her behavior. So I swallowed things that bothered me. Small things at first. The low-cut tops she never wore with me, but posted online. The feeling cute? Thirst traps captioned with lyrics about freedom and wild hearts. The random dude sliding into her DMs and her telling me, "Relax, it's just for the algorithm." Every time I tried to talk about boundaries, she'd call me insecure. So I tried to be the flexible one. The cool boyfriend. The one who doesn't make a fuss. The stress built quietly, like a pressure cooker with no release valve. And then came the night everything snapped. Megan had just gotten dumped and wanted a girls' night redemption tour. But of course Megan never meant girls. She meant girls plus the men she drags into chaos. I had just wrapped a stressful week at the manufacturing company I manage. I wanted nothing but a shower and takeout. But Brooke came bouncing into the bathroom while I shaved, insisting I come out with them. I said I was tired. She insisted again. I said I trusted her. She said Megan thought I was trying to control her. Eventually, she pulled the puppy dog face, kissed my cheek, and said she wanted to show me off, which in hindsight was manipulative as hell. Because in reality, she showed me off the way someone shows off a handbag. They don't care about it. They just like the aesthetic. I caved. I shouldn't have. She wore a dress that was basically one thread away from being lingerie. She looked amazing, sure, but something about the way she kept texting Megan and smirking made my stomach feel tight. We drove to the club, ironically named Verdict, and the energy in the car was already wrong. By the time we walked in, Brooke's transformation was instantaneous. She dropped my hand as soon as the music hit. Her posture changed. She wasn't walking. She was prowling. We found Megan and some other friends by the bar. Megan gave me a fake smile and yelled, "Look who crawled out his dad bod cave." Brooke laughed. She didn't defend me. Not once. I shouldn't have been surprised. They took shots. They danced. I stood on the edge holding a beer, tried to fit into a world that never seemed built for me. Then a group of early 20s party boys drifted over. And Brooke didn't step away, didn't pull me in, didn't signal anything. When one of them put his hands on her hips, she didn't push him off. She leaned back, then she started grinding, then laughed when he whispered something. I froze. My chest burned in a way I'll never forget. I pulled her aside and asked what she was doing. She told me I was being dramatic. Dramatic. Over her rubbing her ass on a stranger while her boyfriend watched. She said I should go home if I couldn't handle fun. Something inside me just flipped, not in anger, not in heartbreak, in clarity. I realized she respected attention more than loyalty. She valued strangers more than me. And I knew, deep in my bones, that she didn't love me. She loved the stability I provided. She loved the apartment. the bills being paid, the comfort. But not me. I told her to do whatever she wanted. She smirked, thinking she won. Then she walked back to the dance floor and immediately made it worse, dancing between 3 different guys like she was auditioning for the role of main event. I walked out, called an Uber, went home, and then my body entered some kind of hyper-focus mode I didn't know I possessed. I packed everything she owned into heavy-duty trash bags and boxes. I stripped the bed. I turned off her location access. I called a locksmith at 12:30 a.m. and said it wasn't a break-in, it was a breakout. At 2 a.m., the locks were changed and her belongings were neatly arranged outside the door. At 10 a.m. the next morning, she came stumbling back, mascara melted down her cheeks, keys in hand. They didn't work. She pounded on the door. I opened it just enough for the chain to hold. She froze at the sight of the bags. "Mark, what is this? Why are my things outside?" "It's a move out," I said calmly. She called me dramatic again. Then she cried. Then she yelled. Then she apologized. Then she screamed I was controlling. Then she begged. Then tried seducing. Then demanded. Then cried harder. But I was done. Truly done. She asked where she was supposed to go. I told her the guys she danced on seemed nice enough. She called me an asshole. I closed the door. She dragged her bags to the elevator while sobbing loud enough for the whole hallway to hear. I won't pretend I didn't feel something. Guilt, sadness, a weird emptiness. But beneath all that was something much bigger. Peace. The fallout was predictable. She posted a crying selfie online, calling me a narcissist, played the victim, said she was homeless. But mutual friends had been at the club. One even recorded her dancing like she was single and starving. Slowly her narrative cracked. That's when her life started unraveling. Living with Megan was a disaster. No support, no stability, no one fixing things, no one covering half the rent she could never afford alone. The freedom she craved turned out to be much more expensive than she imagined. Weeks passed. I flourished. New routines, new mornings, new clarity. And 6 weeks later, outside my gym after a late session, she appeared by my car looking like a ghost of someone I used to know. No makeup, tired eyes, broken voice. "I miss you," she whispered. "I want to come home." For a second, I almost felt it, the old instinct to pull her in, fix things, comfort her. But the truth was too clear now. She didn't miss me. She missed the life I gave her. She missed a version of herself she could be when someone else was funding her stability. She missed a soft place to land after she lit her own life on fire. But she didn't miss me. I told her no, calmly, cleanly, for once with certainty. She cried again, said she had no one. And maybe that's true. But when I looked at her, really looked, I saw someone who had always been chasing attention because she never learned how to sit with herself. So I told her the last thing I will ever say to her. You have yourself. That's who you chose that night. Then I got in my car and drove away, not once looking in the rear view. And for the first time in a long, long time, I felt free. I went home to an apartment that finally felt like mine, cooked a steak, turned on some music, and realized something simple but life-changing. I wasn't dramatic. I was done, and that made all the difference.